izuzetno mi je zadovoljstvo i čast pozdraviti kolegu Amarhela koji će vas kratko uvesti kroz sam početak webinar, a s nama je danas i kolegica Madina, oboje zaposlenici UNICEF-a u Kabulu u Afganistanu. Amarhel, the floor is yours.
Good morning, colleague. Good afternoon, wherever you are in the different part of the world. It's a great honor and pleasure having the opportunity to present you the Afghanistan cultures and helping you to better understand the context of the country. So before presenting the presentation, different contents, I kindly invite you to watch the national dance of Afghanistan, which is called Athan, and it's a great music. So I'm inviting you to watch this national dance. Thank you. I think we don't have sound, I guess.
Yes,
Thank you so much. It is national dance. We call it Atan, which is quite known throughout the country, particularly in the countryside, and even it is known quite internationally as well. So, in some part of the country, male and female dance together. In some part of the country, male separated and female separated. So it is one of the famous dance in the country, and it is quite specialized for a special group of the men and women. So, however, different people are trying to practice and learn it. It's quite interesting. So, hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ivana.
Hvala Armahel. Ovo je bio jedan onako vrlo razbuđujući uvod, s obzirom da u Hrvatskoj je još uvijek jutro, kod vas je već sada prošlo podne, pa nadam se da će ovaj uvod razbuditi ideje i maštu današnjeg webinara i nadam se da će vam biti zanimljivo. Prije nego što nastavimo, podsjetila bih dakle da pitanja i odgovore slobodno postavljate u chatu ili kroz Q&A, a u drugom dijelu webinara bit će i jedan cijeli dio posvećen pitanjima i odgovorima, tako da molim vas, ako želite i dignuti ruku, javiti se, ostavite i pripremite se pitanje za kasnije, imat ćemo dio posvećen upravo tome. Današnji webinar dio je cjelokupnog programa kojeg provodi Ured UNICEF-a u Hrvatskoj uz financijsku podršku Državnog tajništva za migracije Švicarske Konfederacije. Program koji zapravo prolazi već drugu godinu i započeo je sa provedbom u prosincu 2023. godine, a sa ciljem podrške i integracije osoba o migracijama koje dolaze iz trećih zemalja, kao i raseljenih osoba iz Ukrajine pod privremenom zaštitom u Hrvatskoj. Molila bih sljedeći slajd. Dakle, cilj je podržati integraciju, pravovremenu procjenu potreba i zadovoljavanje tih potreba kroz efektivan pristup integracijama i visoko kvalitetnoj zaštiti, podrška mentalnom zdravlju, psihosocijalnoj podrška, pristup obrazovanju i uslugama ranog razvoja te socijalnim transferima. Dakle, cilj nam je podržati hrvatski sustav azila, zaštite djece, socijalne zaštite, obrazovanja, ranog razvoja, kako bi što efektivnije i bolje podržao osobe, obitelji i djecu u migracijama, bilo da dolaze iz trećih zemalja i traže međunarodnu zaštitu u Hrvatskoj, bilo da su raseljene osobe iz Ukrajine. Sljedeći slajd, molim. Ključni partneri u ovom programu su ministarstva nadležna za područje migracije, kao što su Ministarstvo rada, mirovinskog sustava, obitelji i socijalne politike, Ministarstvo unutarnjih poslova, Ministarstvo znanosti, obrazovanja i mladih, Ministarstvo zdravstva, te javne ustanove i sa ovlastima i neposrednog pružanja podrške i zaštite osobama u migracijama, kao što su Hrvatski zavod za socijalni rad, Agencija za odgoj i obrazovanje, Nacionalni centar za vanjsko vrednovanje obrazovanja, Filozofski fakultet Sveučilišta u Zagrebu, Edukacijsko-rehabilitacijski fakultet, Centar za pružanje usluga u zajednici Zagreb Dugave, te organizacije civilnog društva poput Rode, roditelji u akciji, Hrabri telefon, Liječnici svijeta, Centar za nestalu i zlostavljanu djecu te Hrvatska udruga za ranu intervenciju. To su jedni od niza naših partnera kojim se podržava realizacija ovoga programa, ali današnji webinar organiziran je u suradnji sa Uredom UNICEF-a u Afganistanu i naši današnji govornici su zaposlenici UNICEF-a u Kabulu. Izuzetno čast i zadovoljstvo nam je što su danas s nama, s obzirom da će nam moći približiti kulturu, kontekst i razumijevanje zemlje. Može sljedeći slajd, molim. Dakle, kao što i vidite, u 2023. godini imali smo značajan priljev osoba koji su izrazili namjeru i tražili međunarodnu zaštitu u Hrvatskoj. Od toga je čak preko 10.000 djece koji su izrazili namjeru za međunarodnom zaštitom. Djeca su dolazila u Hrvatsku sa članovima svoje obitelji, proširene obitelji ili su bili djeca bez pratnje. Velik dio osoba prolaze kroz Hrvatsku, s obzirom da i dalje ne doživljavaju Hrvatsku kao možda zemlju destinaciju, nego tranzitnu zemlju kako bi došli do jedne od europskih zemalja i zatražili međunarodnu zaštitu. Najvećem broju to su obitelji i djeca koja dolaze iz Afganistana, Turske, Sirije i drugih zemalja. Osim migracija radi međunarodne zaštite, u Hrvatskoj dolazi i priljev je veliki broj ekonomskih migranata koji dobivaju dozvole za boravak i rad u Hrvatskoj, pa tako zapravo u 2023. najveći broj radnih dozvola izdan je za osobe koje dolaze iz Nepala, Indije, Filipina, Bangladeša i Turske. Otuda i u komunikaciji sa profesionalcima koji dolaze u neposredni kontakt i pružaju podršku i zaštitu i sudjeluju u integraciji osoba, javila se potreba za boljim razumijevanjem okruženja, konteksta zemlje iz kojih dolaze, bez obzira na razloge zbog kojih dolaze. Bilo to radi međunarodne zaštite ili radi posla. Može sljedeći slajd, molim. Ovaj webinar je, nadamo se, prvi u nizu webinara kojim se želi jačati kapaciteti profesionalaca koji dolaze u neposredan kontakt sa osobama koji dolaze iz trećih zemalja. Cilj je zapravo raditi i bolje prepoznati različitosti i sličnosti u običajima, navikama, vrijednostima i uvjerenjima drugih kultura od kuda nam dolaze u Hrvatsku osobe migracija. Cilj je također izgraditi sustav koji je kulturno osjetljiviji, koji ima svjesne, kulturno osjetljive i svjesne stručnjake i rad u okruženju različitosti. Današnji webinar ima za cilj bolje razumijevanje kulture, geopolitičkog konteksta, obitelji, odrastanja, djetinjstva u Afganistanu, usluga koje postoje, kao i razumijevanja razloga migracija osoba iz Afganistana. Prepuštam vas dalje našim današnjim gostima, Madini i Amerheilu. Ljubazno bih vas zamolila da nam se također i kratko predstavite. Pa evo, Amerheil, again, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ivana. Before playing another video which gives you a broader image about the country context, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Safiullah Amerhil, working as a child protection officer in Afghanistan, based in Kabul, and supporting the central region provinces. And it's a great pleasure that we have this opportunity to present Afghanistan context. The session, the webinar is designed in 4 sessions in general. And we are in the first session. The first session is focusing on country overview. I will provide you the overall context of the country. Next slide, please. Afghanistan is located in the south central Asia. As you can see in the map also, we have quite large borders with Iran, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and also a tiny border even with China and in the north part of the country. So Afghanistan in overall, it is like 6,052,000 kilometers square, which is ranked the 41st largest country in the world. And also the country is mostly mountain, and we have like highest mountains like Hindu Kush and Baba mountains. However, due to this geographical locations, we have quite complex geography and very, very complex roads, and even it's very challenging in different seasons to have access. Therefore, it's very, very big challenges for different parts of the country and different people. So we also have some deserts in some part of the country. For example, in the south, in Kandahar, we have some deserts, and also in the north part of the country, we also have some deserts. So in overall, we have 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. But in general, we are practicing 2 main climates, which is hot and cold. So interestingly, in some part of the country during the winter, people are practicing like minus 30 degrees Celsius. At the same time, in the different part of the country, the weather is like plus 20 degrees Celsius. It's a very, very interesting. So at the same time, we are a very rich country. We have a lot of untouched natural resources. For example, in terms of metal, we have iron, copper, gold, silver, and different metals, and also some industrial elements, for example, lithium, oil, natural gas. These are quite famous, and government is trying to invest on this part, being in contact with different international companies in the world, because it is a very broad idea that these natural resources can help the country to rebuild and also to fill the gaps of the current budget in the country. Despite there is no specific data or let's say reliable data about the country's population, but in 2023, the National Statistic and Information Authority, we call it NASIA, they released a report indicating that the country's population is 40 million. However, this figure is not very stable due to the current situation of migrations and the migration in the country. People are coming from the neighbor countries. So in the country, we have different ethnic groups. We have Pashtuns, Tajik, Hazara, Uzbek, Turkmen, Baloch, Nuristani, Aimaq, Pashai, and some other tiny groups like Pamir and some others. But if you see the map of the country, interestingly, these nations are living in that part of the country which is neighboring with that country. For example, if you see that the Uzbek nations are living near to Uzbekistan, and for example, Turkmen ethnics are living near to the Turkmenistan, and at the same time, for example, Tajik ethnics are living near to the Tajikistan. So there are a lot of social and cultural connections between these countries with Afghanistan. We have 2 official languages. So we have Dari, which is very close to Iranian Persian, with some very tiny differences. And also we have Pashto, which is quite heavy. So officially we have two languages, and in these two languages we have a lot of publications, and these two languages is widely teaching in the country, in the schools. And also we have other languages like Uzbeki, Turkmen, Baluchi, Pashtun. So these are also some languages that speaking by minority groups in the country. Next slide, please. Afghanistan was practicing the Islamic Republic for many, many years, but since August 2021, Taliban took power. Taliban was an armed group, recognized as an armed group, but in August 2029, they took over the power throughout the country, and since they established Islamic Emirate, so therefore it is not really internationally recognized. So therefore, they defined as a de facto authorities. We also had Islamic Republic before, as I mentioned, which is we had like elections and a lot of challenges on that republic system as well. But currently it is Islamic Emirate, which is like really supporting by Taliban. The legal system is based on Islamic Sharia, which is really supporting by Taliban in the current government structures, because the mindset of the Taliban is in a way that they're really focusing on Islamic Sharia. Therefore, it is the overall legal system is based on Islamic Sharia law. As I mentioned, it is not really, despite of a lot of efforts, diplomatic efforts, but still Afghanistan current government structure is still defined as a de facto, not internationally recognized. So therefore, we don't have any election, as well as no women representation in different layers of the government. Unfortunately, let's say. Internationally, Afghanistan has some good relationship with some countries, diplomatic relationship. For example, we have diplomats in Qatar, in China, in Pakistan, and recently there are some developments in other countries, for example, in Indonesia as well. So there are some efforts ongoing to ensure that we have the country, the current de facto authorities, they have diplomatic relationship with different countries. For example, recently there are some development with Russia, even with India, Iran. These are some recent developments. So as it is defined as a de facto authorities, therefore, it's not internationally recognized. So the Afghanistan asset is frozen internationally, and the current de facto authorities, they don't have access to that national assets, which is still kept in one of the government banks, and I think in Swiss country, I guess they established a new foundation called National Health Foundation for Afghanistan, and therefore it's still kept there. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, it is like a mostly Islamic dominated country, which is practicing mostly Hanafi school. It's a particular religious school, which is practicing mostly by Sunni Muslims, and at the same time we have Shia Muslims, which is mostly Hazara ethnics. and they are mostly living in the central part of the country. At the same time, we have some minority groups, minority ethnics. For example, we have Hindu, Sikh, and even Christians, and even few families of Jewish, which they were living in capital Kabul and Herat provinces, but I think we don't have it now. But there was a very, very decent environment. All different minority groups, they were living together. They had a very close relationship. They had a very interesting businesses in the country. For example, Sikh and Hindus, they have very good and broad investments in South and also in the East part of the country. And also they have very good relationship even in the capital with different business people. The religious life is like very deeply integrated in different part of the lives. For example, all our laws has a very strong reference with Islamic Sharia, and it is really encouraged that every law which is drafted in the country should have very strong reference with the Islamic laws and Islamic Sharia. And at the same time, all education system is built on Islamic Sharia. Even currently, the de facto authorities really focusing to rebuild the overall education system, and this process is quite deeply reviewing that all education system has a very strong relationship with the Sharia laws. Since we talked about Sharia laws, therefore, religious leaders, they have a very strong voice and very strong political influence in different parts of the country. So therefore, it's really encouraged by Taliban as well. We don't have religious freedom. It is broadly restricted. Since it is like currently de facto authorities or Taliban, it's very, very restricted. And also we have 15 million gross domestic products in the country. It was published in 2023. So it is mainly came from different sectors. For example, in the country, 60 to 70 people are busy on the agriculture, particularly in the farms producing weeds and different seeds. And also we have quite famous in terms of producing the dry fruits and fresh fruits. Our apples, our pomegranate, our grapes is quite famous in different countries. For example, recently there was a very interesting progress establishing different trading corridors with some countries, for example, with India, with China, even with Russia and Emirates. So that was a very good development supporting the farmers. And also, as I mentioned, in terms of mining, we are quite rich. However, due some conflicts, there was no major attention to the minerals and mines. However, recently there are some international companies. They are in negotiation with the de facto authorities to invest more in the mining sector. We also have some kind of informal threats with border countries, for example, with Pakistan and also with India. There's no specific figures about the income, but recently there was some informal kind of data has been shared, like it's like more than $11 billion with neighbor countries. A main source of the income in the country, as we mentioned, it is like mostly agriculture. A majority of the people are based on agriculture. You might see some news that Afghanistan is on the process of building an artificial river in the north part of the country. So this is another opportunity providing to the people to more focus on the agriculture sector. So we are quite optimistic on that aspects because this is the government main income. Can we go to the next slide, please? Despite of the some progress and developments in the country, we are still having some challenges. For example, some recent report shows that over 28 million of people, they are living under the line of the poverty. Poverty is a very broad challenge in the country. So you might see the recent news about the education bond to the girls. It is also associated with other challenges with all female workers are also banned, despite there are some exemption for the education and health workers in the country, but still there's no encouragement for the females to work even for education and health workers. This is restricted by current de facto authorities and Taliban. They are really monitoring that their decrees and their orders are really following. Even there were some private education centers in different parts of the country, particularly in the big cities. But even they are not providing some informal education to the girls. However, there are some efforts ongoing to provide girls with online education, but that's not really ruled out due to some challenges. For example, the internet is a big issue, power is another issue. Therefore, the online education system is not really accessible to the girls. Healthcare, Afghanistan was, we have quite a donor trickle health system in the country. It is like mostly donors supported system, but due to the recent funding cut, it is severely affected, and particularly in the hard-to-reach areas, the health service is not really accessible, particularly for children and women. Media is broadly monitoring by the de facto authorities. Even the recent restriction is applied to all medias that they should not have female announcers in the TVs. However, there are some TV channels they are negotiating. However, it is not really encouraged to have female announcers in the TVs. And also, if medias are talking about freedom or women's rights or gender-based violence or some other complex topics, they're also restricted. In terms of migration, we have millions migrants to the neighbor countries, Iran and Pakistan, even to the Europe countries. It is a big challenge still in the country because due to unemployment and poverty, people are migrating to the neighbor countries. The other challenges, they are migrating without any documents to the neighbor countries, to Pakistan, and particularly in Iran. However, the recent efforts in the mission countries are trying to repatriate these migrants back to their countries, but the service provision level in the 0 points or in the country overall is not really in a better position, because the migrants, however, there are some positive aspects and negative aspects, but in terms of negative aspects, they are coming with like nothing. So therefore, government have no capacity to rebuild their life. There were some very interesting reports and analysis about migrations before. I think it was released in 2021. It shows that the positive aspects of the migration, for example, people who migrated to Iran and Pakistan, they learn some skills. They can transfer that skills to the country, and trying to show that there are some positive aspects. For example, the migrants, they return back to their place of origin in the very hard to reach areas. They are educated in the neighbor countries and return back to their country, to their place of origin, so they can provide some education services, being as a teacher. So therefore, there are some positive aspects, but in general, there are some challenges in terms of rebuilding their life. In economic challenges, as we mentioned, the economy system is quite collapsed in the country, because even in the previous government, we had quite broad fraud in the country, particularly in the border areas. But that is a kind of challenges that we faced with. But when Taliban took over, so that the level of income of the country significantly decreased, which was contributed to the economic challenges. Sanction is another challenge, as we mentioned in the previous slide. So since it is not internationally recognized, therefore Afghanistan is isolated and even internationally not recognized, and the financial system is really collapsed. For example, in small industries, they're trying to operate in the country, but the big industries and big companies, they have a lot of challenges. They cannot transfer money out of the country, and they cannot transfer money to buy the goods in different countries. Poverty is another challenge. Some reports shows that even more than 90% of the people are living under the line of the poverty. WFP is really monitoring the situation, and they are trying to prioritize and reprioritize their beneficiaries and try to control the situation. But the harsh winter and drought is another contributing factor for the poverty in the country. There are some political challenges as well. As we mentioned, Afghanistan is not internationally recognized, no election, restriction of on women's work, and also restriction on education system is a very, very well-known challenges in the country. However, we mentioned there are some diplomatic efforts ongoing with the countries. They have a diplomatic relationship with Afghanistan to control the situation. For example, recently there are very good aids from Qatar, from Emirates, from China even. There are some efforts ongoing to control the situation and address the challenges. Next slide, please. To better help you to better understand the context of the country and traditions, I kindly requesting my colleagues to play this video, and it will give you the overall ideas and context about Afghanistan. Thank you.
20 fascinating facts about Afghanistan, a country steeped in rich history and cultural heritage. From its stunning landscapes to its unique traditions, we'll uncover the little-known aspects of this often misunderstood country. So sit back and get ready to discover the hidden gems of Afghanistan and broaden your understanding of this incredible nation. Let's dive in. Afghanistan is one of the oldest countries in the world, with a history that dates back over 5,000 years. The country is home to a rich and diverse culture with over 40 different ethnic groups speaking a variety of languages. Afghanistan is often referred to as the crossroads of Central Asia due to its strategic location at the intersection of major trade routes. The country has a rich history of carpet weaving, and Afghan carpets are considered some of the finest in the world. Afghanistan is known for its stunning landscapes, including the towering peaks of the Hindu Kush mountain range and the arid deserts of the Afghan plateau. The country is home to a number of historic cities, including the capital, Kabul, which has been inhabited for over 3,000 years. Afghanistan was once an important center of Buddhism, with a number of ancient Buddhist monasteries and shrines still standing in the country today. The Afghan people are known for their hospitality and generosity, and visitors to the country are often greeted with warm welcomes. The country is rich in minerals, including gold, silver, copper, and iron, and has significant reserves of natural gas and oil. Afghanistan has a long tradition of music with a wide range of instruments, including the rubab, sitar, and tabla used in traditional Afghan music. The country is also known for its delicious cuisine, including dishes such as kebabs, rice dishes, and savory stews. Afghanistan has a rich history of literature, with poets and writers producing works in both Persian and Pashto. The country is also famous for its handicrafts, including wood carving, textiles, and pottery, which are sold in markets throughout the country. Afghanistan has a vibrant film industry, with films produced in both Dari and Pashto and showcasing the country's rich cultural heritage. The country is home to a number of ancient fortresses and castles, including the iconic Bala Hissar Fort in Kabul. Afghanistan has a rich tradition of horsemanship, with horse riding and horse racing being popular sports in the country. The country is home to a number of national parks and wildlife preserves, including the Band-e-Amir National Park, which is home to a variety of species, including the snow leopard. Afghanistan is also known for its vibrant festivals, including the annual Afghan Independence Day celebration and the celebration of Nowruz, the Persian New Year. The Afghan people have a deep love of poetry, and the country has a long tradition of oral storytelling and poetry recitation. Despite its troubled recent history, Afghanistan remains a country of great resilience, strength, and beauty, with a rich cultural heritage that continues to endure.
Thank you so much. I'm sure this video further help you to better understand the country context with a very, very specific aspects. So I'm sure you will be more interested to see more videos about the context. And if you see some tips from the tourists coming to the country recently, I'm sure you will be more interested to see different context.